Welcome to Tokyosaurus. So what's up in Japan? So obviously, everybody has seen the latest Detective Pikachu trailer raking over 50 million views on just the first day between different platforms. And everybody seems to be loving it with the like to dislike ratio at a very good place. But even so, there seems to be a large number of people not completely on board with just how uncanny all the Pokemon looks in the new super realistic 3D art style. We haven't really seen Pokemon like this before, and even in realistic settings like the way they did the Pokemon Go trailers, the designs of Pokemon were still very close to the game, or basically what we're all used to seeing. So when people first saw just how furry our Detective Pikachu was, immediately this triggered a ton of people. We've never seen Pikachu this furry before, so this wasn't what we're used to seeing, and immediately many people decided that this new Detective Pikachu doesn't look right, and that Pikachu shouldn't have fur, at least not this furry. And when furry Jigglypuff came on screen along with her fabulous hair, that was the last straw for some people. And so comes the question, is Pikachu supposed to be furry or hairy? Well, for starters, this is the first ever real-life Pokemon movie, and if Pikachu is based off of mice, real mice are hairy little creatures, and in fact have very visible fur. And so if we're gonna be going the realistic route, yes, Pikachu should be hairy to an extent. Now some of you might be saying, who cares about real mice? This is Pokemon. So let's take a look at the original Pikachu from the Pokemon anime. Does Pikachu have fur or hair? I think that one is pretty obvious if you have seen any of the latest Pokemon Let's Go trailers with the hairstyle changes on Eevee and Pikachu. But it's been a fact since the beginning that Pikachu has full body fur. When we met Sparky, who was Richie's Pikachu from the anime, we saw just how Pikachu would look like with hair not just on his body, but like a real hairstyle. So it's no doubt that Pikachu can grow his fur out if he really wanted to. And this is not the first time we saw a more realistic Pikachu than the silky smooth, shiny looking Pikachu that we're all used to seeing from the main games or anime. When Pokken came out, which is the Pokemon fighting game, in Pikachu's renders, you can clearly see that he has a full body of fur, and that Pikachu is in fact not the super smooth, plastic looking Pikachu that you may have imagined him to be in a more realistic form. So Pikachu is supposed to be furry, that is a fact. And to be honest, if they used the original design of Detective Pikachu from the very first Detective Pikachu trailer, that might actually be even more uncanny, as we've seen before in the third Yokai Watch movie, where they used real actors in combination with a cartoony styled CGI yokais that were very close to what they look like in the anime. The whole movie just didn't look very good. It wasn't very believable, as some of the effects and just the way everything moved doesn't match up with how it would be in reality. But back to Pikachu, the fur doesn't actually bother me nearly as much as how Pokemon now have way more realistic eyes. When Pokemon were designed to be more realistic in Pokken or Pokemon Go trailers, they never really changed the eyes that much. Pokemon still looked cartoony and in a world of their own. But now, with the Detective Pikachu, their new eyes is what really makes them look like real living breathing animals. We now see reflections in their eyes, which is something we pretty much never see in a cartoony animated character. And that is what I think is messing with people's heads the most. Pokemon with real eyes. I mean, if you just take a longer look at Jigglypuff, who got a ton of backlash for her crazy hair, you realize that what's unsettling isn't so much in the hair. It's how different her eyes are compared to her anime eyes. And also, while large eyes may work very well in anime, when it's translated to real life, that's a whole nother story. So is Pikachu supposed to be this furry? Probably not this furry, but he is supposed to be furry. And don't forget, Detective Pikachu's backstory is that he's a tough, hard-boiled detective. This Pikachu has seen things. He's not your average Pikachu, and you shouldn't treat him as one. He may like to outgrow his fur a little more than he should, but that's probably because he's so busy doing detective things that keeping himself groomed is likely the last thing on his mind. You know, like a real detective. But anyways, I'm curious as to what you guys think of our new furry or hairy Pikachu. Are you okay with it? Do you hate it, or do you love it? As usual, let me know down in the comments below. Thumbs up the video if you liked it, don't forget to touch the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.